Let's take a look at how to use the program Screencast-O-Matic to create your own screen recordings on your EASD laptop. The first thing you want to do is be sure that Screencast-O-Matic is installed on your device. If you don't have it yet, you can go out to the EASD Software Center, which is accessible through the desktop icon, and you can look for Screencast-O-Matic and go ahead and install it that way. After you do get it installed, let's go ahead and open up the program. To open it up, hit your Windows key on your keyboard that's located to the left of the space bar, and just start typing in Screencast, and it should show up as a best match. So go ahead and open that program, and just a quick tip here, once that opens up, if you right click on the Screencast-O-Matic icon down in your taskbar, select Pin to Taskbar, and now you'll have an icon that'll always be there even if the program is closed, so you don't have to search for it every single time you want to use it. This is the screen that you'll see when you open it up. It'll contain any of the recordings that you've created with Screencast-O-Matic. If you have never opened the program before, this will be empty, but we can go ahead and hit the record button in the upper right hand corner. Now this won't start a recording right away. What it does is it kind of arms it and gets it ready to record. So click this when you're kind of in the process of getting set. That'll launch the recorder. So at this point now we're ready to start recording, and it opens up this dashboard in the lower right hand corner of your screen. This shows some important settings that you need to double check before you start your recordings. Really important, so you have these settings set correctly so you don't accidentally record a video and realize at the end that it wasn't recording your voice or something. So I'll start at the top and work my way down. The main three recording methods are, the most popular one is first. Screen will only record what's on your screen. Your webcam feed will not be included. If you choose the webcam only option, it's going to show just your webcam view. So that'd be a video of just you talking to your computer. If you want to have the hybrid of those, it would just be your screen as the main display with a small pop-out of your webcam feed in one of the corners that you choose. I'm going to choose the screen option for this screencast just to record what is on the area of the screen that I designate. Next, down here, I am using the Screencast-O-Matic Pro version, which is available to EASD staff members. Students have access to the free version, which is very similar, but they have a limited max time of 15 minutes, which is still pretty long. I don't recommend creating screencasts that are longer than 3 to 5 minutes unless it's absolutely necessary, just for the purposes of maintaining viewer attention. Okay, so the size is probably the most important setting that we want to play with here. And just a quick note on what I believe is the default is full screen. Now keep in mind, if you have your size set to full screen, it's going to record everything on your screen, including things like your address bar, your bookmarks, any open tabs will be visible, your taskbar, any app icons, and then the date and time. That's great if you want to include that, but if you don't want to include that extra stuff, which could be distracting, change the size to something like 720p, and then you can customize what part will be included in the screencast by using these sizing handles to drag and expand this box to just the constraints of the content that you're trying to include. And in this example, I'm just using a website that I'm going to show how to use in the screencast. So notice that sizing handle here, that rectangle, is just filling the body of the website and nothing else. So everything above it and below it will not be included in the screencast. Okay, the next one down is narration. If you're looking to record your voice into the screencast, as well as whatever your mouse is doing and what the screen is showing, be sure that you see the green level indicators rising and falling as you speak. If you don't see that, you're going to want to click this small triangle and then select your internal microphone or webcam or whatever it is that you're using. And just be sure you see those level indicators. Computer audio is if you're recording something that includes audio, such as a video. If you're including that in your video or in your screencast, be sure to set that to on. The two options are yes or no. Yes, we'll leave it on, so if you play something like a YouTube video in your screencast, students will be able to hear the full quality audio from that video. I'm going to leave it on. It really doesn't hurt to leave on unless you really don't want them hearing a video that you're screencasting. I'm not going to talk about preferences. You can basically leave those at their default values. As you get to know the program more, you can take a look in there. Next, we are ready to start recording, but before we hit that record button, make sure that you have your screen set up where you want it to be. So I have this website already opened up. It's scrolled up to the top. It's on the home page. I'm ready to start. I know what I'm going to say. Now we're going to hit that record button, and it's going to give us a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So now at this point, Screencast-O-Matic is telling me that it's recording because I see the red kind of dotted lines at the top and the side. And the record button has now turned into a pause button, and I see the timer at the bottom left is counting up, telling me how long my screencast is as it's recording. The mouse movement is being recorded, and anything that I do within this screen selection that I designated is now being captured in the screencast, and it's also recording my audio or my voice as narration as I'm doing my movements here. I can do anything. I can interact, I can click on links, I can go to a different website if I want to, and it's all being captured in this single screencast. Now, a really nice feature of Screencast-O-Matic is the ability to pause your recordings and then the ability again to resume your recordings without really doing too much work. You can use the pause button that's in the lower left hand corner to pause. It will stop recording. You can kind of gather your thoughts, or if someone walked up to your door and interrupted you while you were recording, it's better to pause the recording, deal with whatever it is that you have to deal with, and then you can resume the recording rather than start from scratch and just say, someone messed it up, I have to start all over. It'll save you tons of time. So let's say now someone walked up, I'm talking to them right now, the screencast recording has stopped, but I'm 59 seconds in. After the person walks away, or after I've gathered my thoughts, I can now regroup and then hit record again. And now it's continuing to record, picking up exactly where it left off. It's now just past the 1 minute mark. And when I watch this screencast back, it's going to be one seamless video, and whoever's watching it may not even know that I hit that pause button because it's that seamless. So I'm recording on a website right now. I just want to give one more example of how to include other programs such as PowerPoint in your screencast, because Screencast-O-Matic will record anything that's being displayed on your computer screen. So if I want to do a PowerPoint presentation in this, I'm going to pause my screencast because there's no sense in including me opening up a PowerPoint presentation in the screencast. I just want them to see the presentation itself. They don't need to see me navigating and doing all the clicking around. So it's paused now, it's not recording. I'm going to open up the PowerPoint presentation and play the slideshow from the beginning. And notice my sizing handles are still set from that website. I can actually change them on the fly and do a full screen view now. So I want them to see the entirety of this presentation. And when I'm ready, I'm gathering my thoughts, there's no interruption, I can then hit record. And now we're going to talk about this PowerPoint presentation. We were just looking at the website, now we're going to go look at this presentation. I want to walk you through 3 quick slides. There's slide number 2, we're talking about it, and then slide number 3. So my entire screencast is only 1 minute and 50 seconds long. So I'm going to make my closing statements right now. Goodbye. I'll hit pause. The screencast has stopped recording, and I'm ready to either wrap it up or start over if I decide I don't like it or something. So at this point, I see it's 1 minute and 57 seconds long. If I want to scrap it and start over, I can hit the trash can and then hit start over. I will recommend don't be too critical of your screencasts. It can get pretty time consuming if you're constantly scrapping and starting over. It's okay to have mistakes in your screencasts, just go with it. Sometimes that could be funny for students. So if it's not perfect, it's still okay, as long as you get your point across. If you are happy with it, you can hit the done button down in the lower corner. You can preview your screencast here by hitting the play button to see it from the start. Here we go. So now at this point, Screencast-O-Matic is... And I just want to show you that transition where I moved to the PowerPoint presentation to show you how seamless that really is. Let's go ahead and check that out. So, if I want to do a PowerPoint presentation in this, I'm going to pause my screen. And now we're going to talk about this PowerPoint presentation. We're just... So notice it didn't include me opening up PowerPoint. It just quickly cut right to when I started talking about the slides and everything was good looking. So that is just a good use of how to use Screencast-O-Matic's built-in pause and resume function to really clean up and shorten the length of your screencasts. Okay, after you're completely happy with it, you can hit the Save as Video File button that appears right there. Give your screencast a file name, whatever you want to call it. Choose a destination where you'd like to save it. Save it somewhere where you will know how to find it. That usually helps. And then just hit the Publish button here. The rest of the settings can be left at their defaults. And that will save your video screencast, where then you can go access that file, upload it to Schoology or OneDrive, share it whatever way you'd like, and rinse, wash, and repeat. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions with how to use Screencast-O-Matic or anything more specific related to Screencast-O-Matic, feel free to reach out. You can talk to me, Ben Rossman, or come up to Mounts Tech Support. Someone would be happy to help you out. Thanks.